So let us talk about cryptography, and this PPT is from Adam from Purdue University. So we'll see history, terms and definitions, symmetric and asymmetric algorithm, hashing, PKI concept, attacks on crypto systems. So cryptography, this is hidden writing or increasingly used to protect information and can ensure confidentiality, that is integrity and authenticity too. So cryptography, it is Greek for hidden, and writing is a means of transforming data in a way that renders it unreadable by anyone except the intended recipient, that is hidden writing. So what was actually used almost exclusively by governments for espionage has become a powerful tool for personal privacy today. Even modern computer system uses a modern cryptographic methods to secure passwords stored and provides the trusted backbone for e-commerce, that is thin lock icon. That is by increasing use to protect information. And as far as this can ensure confidentiality, cryptography fits into various things, like as it can be used to ensure confidentiality and integrity of a message. Some forms also provide for sender authenticity and a proof of delivery. But cryptography doesn't address availability as some other forms of security do. Although forgetting a password for your user account can certainly lead to denial of service attack. However, cryptography is used in many access control systems. So the history of cryptography begins when many stories of history do in ancient Egypt. Then we have this pen and paper cryptography at that time. Examples are Scytale, Atbash, Caesar, Vigenère. So this Spartan method, which involved wrapping a belt around a rod of a given diameter and length. And Atbash, this is Hebrew cipher, which mirrored the normal alphabet. And this Caesar, it shifts all letter by a given number of letters in an alphabet. And then Vigenère, it uses a key and multiple alphabets to hide repeated characters in an encrypted message. So, the invention of cipher machines, this is the history of mechanical era, and these are the examples. So, the history of cryptography begins when many old tales, again, Egypt. So, they were not meant to hide message so much as to give formal and ceremonial touch to stories of everyday events. So during the industrial age, cryptography was moved from manual exercise to one done by these machines. So the invention of cipher disk and routers of this use allowed for the creation of much more complex algorithms. For example, German Enigma. You might be aware of this story. Then came computer. So these are Lucifer, Regendale, RSA, Elgamal. So modern computing gave cryptographers vast resources for improving the complexity of crypto system as well as for attacking them. So and the spread of personal computing, electronic commerce and personal privacy concerns. Use of encryption has spread beyond its traditional uses in military and government applications. Then, as the slide suggests, just like many other technical topics, cryptography has its own linguistic, and learning and using these terms and their definitions are the key to speaking like a crypto geek. This is plain text, a message in its natural format, readable by an attacker. Ciphertext, message which is being altered to be unreadable by anyone except the intended recipient. The key, this is sequence that controls the operation behavior of the cryptographic algorithm. Then you have key space, total number of possible values of key in a crypto algorithm. Then initialization vector, that is the random value used with ciphers to ensure no patterns are created during the encryption. And then crypto system, combination of algorithm, key and key management function used to perform these cryptographic operations. So coming to this confidentiality, for a crypto system you have to have this all these things. That is, so why do we care about cryptography? So here's what it can do for us. First of all, confidentiality means only authorized entities are allowed to view. Integrity ensures the message are or was not altered by unauthorized individuals. Authenticity means validates the source of the message to ensure the sender is properly identified. And non-repudiation means establishes sender identity so that the entity cannot deny having sent the message, like what happens in your digital signature. And then access control, that is, access to object require access to the associated crypto keys in many systems, for example say login. Then we have different types of cryptography like stream ciphers, stream-based ciphers and block ciphers. Stream ciphers are fast and easy to implement on a hardware, and block ciphers are stronger but slower and often implemented in hardware. Okay, stream-based ciphers, they are one at a time, mixes plain text with the key stream and good for a real-time system as I suggested. And block ciphers, this is amusement park ride, means substitution, transposition, everything is jumbled up. Then we have this substitution cipher. This is converting one letter to another, or crypto-quip as you say. Transposition cipher, that is changes position of letter in text. This is converting one letter to another. This is changing the position of letter in text. That is word jumbling. This is transposition cipher. And rearranging ordering the letters within a messages like this. Then monoalphabetic cipher, that is Caesar, for example, algorithm that substitutes one letter in the ciphertext alphabet for one in the plain text alphabet. Then we have this polyalphabetic cipher. So algorithm that substitute a letter from two or more ciphertext. This is polyalphabetic, like visionary. Then modular mathematics, running keys cipher, sometimes referred to as clock arithmetics, and it computes operation over a given range of values, say from 0 to n, and this is referred to as modulo n. That is why it is modular mathematics. One-time pads means like randomly generating key, so offer perfect accuracy if a true source of randomness is used, but is very difficult to use in practice. Then hiding a message with another medium such as an image, this is steganography. No key is required. You can modify a color map of JPEG image. This is invisible ink, hidden tattoos and microdots are all examples of steganography. And by taking a color digital image and slightly altering the color of each pixel, you can hide a message in the image without noticeably altering the appearance. So the receiver can then extract the message if they have the original unaltered image. Then coming to our this very important thing called cryptographic methods. There are two methods, symmetric and asymmetric. Hybrid also is there. So combining them. So let us talk about this symmetric. Same key for encryption and decryption, and the key distribution may be a problem. So cryptographic algorithms generally fall in these two different categories or combination of both, as I suggested, hybrid. Symmetric is fast, only provide confidentiality, needs secure channel for key distribution because same key for encryption and decryption, and key management headaches from large number of key pair to maintain, that is n into n minus 1 by 2. and that's over 6.3 million key pairs to let all 3556. There are various things. I'm just giving an example. There is so many things which number of pairs which is required. So to do the same, we have some example like DES, AES, Blowfish, RC4, RC5. DES, AES, AES you might have seen, because in your banking also it comes with this is AES encrypted. So DES, AES, Blowfish, RC4, RC5 all are there. And then asymmetric, coming to asymmetric, this is mathematically related key pairs for encryption and decryption. So we don't have the same key, but we have some concept of public and private key. So large mathematical operation make it slower than this symmetric one. So no need for out of band key distribution, that is public keys are public, So scales better since only a single key pair needed per individual, and can provide authentication and non-repudiation. Now for example, we have this RSA and El-Gamal, ECC and Diffie-Hellman. Then coming to this hybrid. This combines strength of both methods. Asymmetric distributes symmetric key, also known as a session key, like this. And symmetric provides bulk encryption. For example, SSL negotiates a hybrid method. So a hybrid crypto system is best of both worlds. In this case, a symmetric, asymmetric encryption scheme is used to transmit a generated symmetric key to other party. Then that key is used for all further communication. And this combines the scalability and key management feature of the asymmetric algorithm with the speed of symmetric ones. So the SSL, that is Secure Socket Layer, SSL, Secure Socket Layer protocol, negotiate with a symmetric and asymmetric algorithm to use a hybrid system to protect TCP connections such as HTTP connections between a web browser and web server. So you use this hybrid for HTTP and web browser and web server connection. Now we have this confusion and diffusion. Strong encryption uses a combination of both of these attributes to attain a sufficiently complex algorithm. So what is this? Confusion is changing key values each round and performed through substitution, and it complicates plain text and key relationship. While diffusion means change location of the plain text in ciphertext. So this is done through transposition. Then we have this symmetric algorithm, as I just suggested. This is DES. We have ECB, CBC, CFB, OFB and CM modes. We have 3DS, AES, IDEA and Blowfish. I have already uttered these. So this DES, this is data encryption standard. The full form is data encryption standard, and this is a 64-bit key that is effectively 56-bit in strength. DES is 56-bit in strength. An actual algorithm is called DEA, data encryption algorithm. So this is data encryption standard, and the actual algorithm is data encryption algorithm. And this DES modes are, this electronic code book, then cipher book chaining, and cipher feedback, and output feedback and counter mode. Then we have this 3DS. This is 112 to 112-bit effective key length, and it uses either 2 or 3 different smaller keys in one of the several modes. The modes are EEE2 by 3, EDE2 by 3. Coming to AES, this is NIST replaced DES in 1997 with this. So now we have this more in this is more common, and it uses the Ridgen-Dale algorithm and supports key block size of 128, 192 or 256 bits, and it uses 10, 12 to 14 rounds as block size increases. Then we have this IDEA, International Data Encryption Algorithm. It operates on 64-bit block in 8 round with 128-bit key, and this is considered stronger than DES and is used in PGP. This Blowfish, this is a 64-bit block cipher with up to 448-bit key and 16 rounds, and this is designed by Bruce. Now these are asymmetric algorithm. You have this Diffie-Hellman, RSA, and L-Gamal, and EEC, elliptic curve cryptography. You have MD5. These are the hashing algorithms. It computes 128-bit hash value, widely used for file integrity checking, MD5, and SHA-1 is, it computes 160-bit hash value and NIC approved message digest algorithm. Havel, it computes between 128 to 256-bit hash and between 3 to 5 rounds, and RIP EMD 160 is developed in Europe, patent free. Then we have birthday attack. What is this? This collision, two messages with the same hash value. This is based on the birthday paradox. So hash algorithm should be resistant to this attack. And we have this message authentication codes also. Small block of data generated with a secret key and appended to a message. SMHMAC. It uses hash instead of cipher for speed. So it uses SSL and TLS and IPsec. Now digital signature. Hash of message encrypted with private key. Again, digital signature is hash of message which is encrypted with a private key. So digital signature standard DSS. We have DSA, RSA, ECD, SA plus SHA. So this DSS provides sender authentication, verification of message integrity, and non-repudiation. And then we have KDC, encryption management. Key distribution center, KDC. It uses master key to issue session keys. For example, Kerberos. This is now used in operating system also. So it uses master key to issue session keys. And we have NCX 9.17. It is used by financial institutions. We have hierarchical set of keys. So higher level use to distribute lower. Then public key infrastructure. All components needed to enable secure communication, policies and procedure, key and algorithm, and software and data formats. So it assures identity users and provides key management features. What are these PKI components? Digital certificates, which contains identity and verification info. Certificate authority, which is trusted entity that issues certificate. Registration authority, registration, verifies identity for the certificate request. And then CRL, certification revocation list. So PKI cross verification, the process to establish a trust relationship between these CAs, right? These CAs, certificate authorities. It allows each CA to validate certificate issued by other CA and is used in large organizations or business partnership. So coming to this cryptanalysis, we have the study of methods to break crypto system, and this is often targeted at obtaining a key. So the attacks may be the passive or active also. So cryptanalysis is very important aspect, because while you are working with this cryptography, cryptanalysis is very important. We have Kirchhoff principles. The only secrecy involved within a crypto system should be the key. So crypto system strength is how hard is the system to determine the secret associated with this system. And cryptanalysis attack, brute force, trying all keys in the key space. Frequency analysis means guessing values based on frequency of occurrence. And dictionary attack, find plain text based on the common words. Replay attack, repeating previous known values. Factoring attack, finding keys through prime factorization. And this cipher text only. And known plain text means format or content of plain text available. Then choosing this plain text, attacking or attack can encrypt chosen plain text. Chosen cipher text means decrypt known cipher text to discover key. And differential power analysis means side channel attack, identifying algorithm and key length. The social engineering can be also done. Humans are the weakest link. RNG attack, predict this using the algorithm. Temporary files may contain plain text also. Email security protocols. You have privacy enhanced email, PEM. Pretty good privacy based on distribution trust model. Each user generates a key pair. And then S-MIME requires public key infrastructure supported by most email clients. The network security. It has link encryption, means encrypt traffic headers and plus data. Transparent to users. And end-to-end encryption means encrypts application layer data only and network devices need not be aware. Then we have SSL TLS, supports mutual authentication, secures a number of popular network services. And IPsec, that is security extensions of TCP/IP protocol. It supports encryption and authentication and used by various VPNs. So this was the basic idea about encryption and decryption, and actually we are talking about the cryptography. Thank you so much. Take care.